This is annoying, isn't it? Because we are not used to seeing water losses going unnoticed. But at the same time, in our households, in our offices, hundreds of kilowatt hours, as in electricity losses goes through inefficient appliances, we don't mind. Because you may be drinking a tiny bit, all going losses. And that's what happened when you have energy inefficient light in your house, when you have a poor insulation. Electricity are losses everywhere, but we can never see and never act. Just imagine if there was a technology available that you could see the energy losses. We all have seen that. As you walk out of airports, you have those thermal cameras that looks at you, do you have a fever? But here they are using it a very different purposes. They are putting on the top of a drone at a macro level, they could see where the heat losses are happening in a district heating system. So let's talk to Mark and see the technology. Mark, you want to show what you got?
So I have a FLIR thermal camera. So it gives us an ability to detect heat losses through the thermal signatures of any structure or any object.
Yeah, so we can see ourselves here. Wow,
right.
and this two glass is pretty cool, and I can see also the losses.
That's right.
So this camera is a very simple camera, and if we look at this camera, so can you please explain what are we looking at?
Sure, it's mounted on a drone, and it allows us to see live feed the information, the thermal information of any object. And from there, you can already extract information via live feed on the thermal signature of different objects that you're seeing.
So if this was hot water, and if I was spilling, it should be able to show that the water is spilling.
That's right.
Now this is water we can always see, but if it was just hot air getting out of my house, it will capture as well.
That's right.
So basically a practical application could be in a cold country, in the middle of the night, this can quietly fly and tell you house by house basis, street by street, where the thermal losses are happening, how the expensive electricity by way of like an inefficient air conditioning or lack of insulation leaking the households.
That's right.
So where have you used it?
So we've been using it for power line stations, transmission lines, solar farms, and also some geothermal pipeline. So it's used to inspect and validate information, whether there is a loss or it's in a substandard or standard condition.
You know what, I have spent as a professional, I think, for the last 30 years, trying to convince people how to save energy. And my problem had always been how to show where the energy losses are. Finally today, the technology is providing that in my hand, enabling me to show where the losses are. We'll find a good use of it. Thank you.